Thank you for joining us for today's video training. Today, we will perform a general overview of the Mitel Connect client. We will learn how to make a call, how to answer a call, how to transfer a call, how to conference in someone else, how to check your voicemail, and how to use instant messaging. Okay, so let's jump right in. For those of you who have previously used the ShoreTel communicator, you will notice that the Connect client looks quite different. One thing you will need to be aware of is that it's recommended to configure your Connect client to be on the left edge of your monitor. This is due to how it expands from left to right as you click to open tabs. You will see an example of this in just a few moments. Starting at the top of the client, you will see the address book and dialer. You will then see your availability status. You will see the People tab. You will see the Recent Calls tab. You will see your voicemails. You will see the Messages tab, the Events tab, and the Workgroup tab. For those of you in a workgroup, we will have a separate video that will go more in depth into how to use this tab. Okay, so let's take a look at how we can utilize each of these options. To use the address book, simply click in the search bar and begin typing the name of an employee you'd like to call or message. Once you find who you're looking for, click on his or her name and it will expand, giving you more options. From this page, you will see that employees' availability status, you can call them, or you can send them a message. To change your availability status, you can simply click on the green arrow that's next to your name and choose one of the statuses. You will notice that you now have an on vacation status as well as a do not disturb status. Those are both new statuses in this version of the client. The People tab allows you to configure employees that you frequently call or message to show up in two separate ways. You will notice at the top of the client, once you click on the tab, that you are given two options. You are given subtabs for both favorites and groups. Favorites are useful for employees that you frequently call or message so that you can access them quickly. Groups allow you to configure a subset of employees so that you can perform certain tasks for the entire group quickly. To add an employee to your favorites, simply search for them in the address book and click on the star to the right of their name in the list. For example, if I wanted to add Blake to my list of favorites, I would simply search for him and then unclick the star next to his name. Now if I go back to the People tab, I will see that he is now listed in my favorites list. To create a new group, I would simply click on the Groups subtab, then click on the new group or contact, select Add Group, and then enter in a name of a group. And then I could add people from this, or add people to this group. For example, I'm going to add Blake and Paul to this list. I can do this two ways. I can enter or search for their name and then select him from the list. And then I can also drag a user from an already existing group into the list as well. And then I would just simply click Save Changes. And now I have a new group. Now that I have that new group, I can select the Options button. And now I can either start a group chat with everyone that's in that group, I can schedule a meeting with everyone that's in that group, or I can send each user that's in that group a group voicemail. The Recent tab shows me all of my recent phone calls. I can sort them by all calls or by missed calls. If I click on a recent call, it will actually show me the entire call history as well as any messaging history with that particular user. The Voicemails tab will show you all of your voicemails sorted by the most recent, and all unheard messages and any saved messages. To listen to a message, simply click on the message and then you're given more options. You can play the message by simply clicking the green play button. You can forward the message to another employee by clicking on forward and then searching for their name and then clicking send. You can also save the message. For an example, if I had not previously saved it, you can click on Save, And now I can view that message in my saved options. You can also delete that message by clicking on that message and then choosing delete. And now it's in your deleted voicemails option. If you'd like to call the person that had sent you that message, let me back out and go back in just so you can get a full overview. So I would click on voicemails, select that voicemail, and then I can click on the green button on the top right corner, and that will dial that user back. The Messages tab will show your instant messages. If you'd like to start a new message with an employee, you can simply search for their name in the address book. For example, let's message Paul. Let's select his name, and then I could enter any message in the bottom right corner. And now in the Messages tab, I would see that I have the message to Paul listed. Once you have sent a message to any user, they will then show up in this Messages tab. The Events tab will show you any events that are listed in your Outlook calendar, both upcoming and past. You can actually create a new event directly from this page without having to go to Outlook. You can perform this task by simply clicking on the plus icon in the top right corner. Once you do that, you can simply fill in the required information and click Create Event Invite, and that will create the event for you so that you can send it out. The Workgroups tab will show you all information regarding the workgroup that you may be listed in. If you're listed in a workgroup, we will have a secondary video that goes over to this tab more specifically. Now that we have an overview of the client itself, let's see how to perform some basic call functions. Let's start with making a call. To make a call, you can either select an employee from the address book by searching for their name, or you can manually type a phone number. So for example, if I wanted to call Blake, I could search for his name, select his name, and then hit the green button in the top right corner. If I wanted to call an external number that's not listed in the address book, I could simply type 9 to get an outside extension, and then dial the number, whatever it may be. For example, if I was dialing someone here locally, 9-501-539-5555, for example, and that would dial out once you hit enter. You can also select the dialer icon on the left if you'd rather type that number manually. Just remember to always press 9 if you're dialing an outside number. To answer a call, you can simply click on the green answer button that appears when someone is dialing your extension. For example, if someone was dialing, I would have this pop up, and I could click the green icon at this point. I could also click the red icon to send them straight to my voicemail. I could click the arrow icon to transfer them to another extension, or I can click the messages icon to send them a canned response if I'm already on the phone with someone else. To transfer an existing call to another extension, you can click on the phone headset icon and then search for another extension, or you can click on a recently used contact. For example, if I wanted to send this call from Gary to Blake, I would simply click on his name. That provides me with a subset of options that I can choose from. I can perform a direct transfer that will send him directly to Blake's extension. I can click the consult button to perform a consultative transfer. What this does is it places the existing call on hold and then allows me to call Blake. And then I can say, hey Blake, I've got Jake from State Farm on the call. Would you like to take this call, or would you rather me send it to voicemail? If he says send to voicemail, I could then simply just click on the voicemail button, which would forward this call straight to his voicemail. There is the park option, but this one is rarely used, so we're not going to really go over the functions of how it works. If you'd like to conference in someone else to the call, let me get a test call going here. I'd answer that call, and then I would simply choose the Add Participant. Here I could once again search for someone else, or I could choose it from the list if I already had them. And then once again I could do a direct conference, which will add Blake directly into this call, or I could perform a consultative conference that would place the existing call on hold, would allow me to call Blake and say, hey, I've got so-and-so on the line. Do you mind jumping in with the call with me? And at that point, I would be able to add him to the call. Well, that wraps up our training on the Mitel Connect client for today. But if you have any further questions, feel free to create a help desk issue by calling the help desk at extension 3333, by sending an email to helpdesk@jeriggs.com, or by creating the issue on the web portal by clicking on the help desk icon on RiggsCentral. We hope that you have a great day. Thanks for joining us.